What is a joint control and what is the difference between a joint operation and a joint venture, and how do we account for these joint arrangements? Welcome to our video with a summary about IFRS 11 joint arrangements, which is part of group accounts. This is Senior Hannington, your accounting tutor and the founder of Tutor Keymaster, a YouTube channel that you can subscribe to if you want to learn more about IFRSs. This is a summary of the different types of investments that an investor can make. An investor can buy shares in a subsidiary company, in an associate company, as well as a joint arrangement. However, when it comes to a subsidiary, the criteria is control. When it comes to an associate, this criteria is significant influence, and under joint arrangements, we know that the criteria is joint control. When you look at the shares in a subsidiary, the investor holds more than 50%. When it comes to an associate, holds more than 20%, but less than 50%. And when it comes to a joint arrangement, you see that there is what we call equal share. When it comes to the accounting will depend on the type of investment. For subsidiaries, we use the acquisition method, or what you call a full consolidation. When it comes to associates, we use the equity method of accounting. And when it comes to joint arrangements, it will depend on the type of the joint arrangement. Now, any other investment that is not a subsidiary, not an associate, not a joint arrangement, that is classified as other investments, and that is covered under IFRS 9 financial instruments. So today we will focus on joint arrangements. We are going to look at joint control. We are also going to look at the accounting for joint arrangement, depending on the type of the joint, arrangement. Now, IFRS 11 sets the principles for reporting of joint arrangements. A joint arrangement is an arrangement where two or more parties have what we call joint control over an entity under a contractual agreement. So, a joint arrangement binds the two parties by a way of a contractual agreement, and it gives these parties joint control. What is joint control? Now, joint control is based on the same principle of control under IFRS 10, Consolidated Financial Statements. Remember, under IFRS 10, control exists if the investor has power over the investee. Control exists if the investor has exposure to variable returns, and still control under IFRS 10 exists if the investor has that ability to use its power to affect the variable returns. Now, under IFRS 11, joint control is the contractually agreed sharing of control in relation to decisions regarding the relevant activities and requires unanimous consent of the controlling parties. That is joint control under IFRS 11. So there should be that contractually agreed sharing of control. When it comes to decisions relating to the relevant activities, there should be unanimous consent of all the controlling parties. Joint control exists if two parties hold 50% of the voting rights. Don't forget that. So there are different ways of how to classify a joint arrangement. A joint arrangement can be classified as a joint venture or a joint operation. So we have two arrangements, that is a joint venture and a joint operation. You need to know what a joint venture is as well as a joint operation. Now, under IFRS 11, a joint venture is an arrangement where the parties have rights to only the net assets of the arrangement. So a separate entity is always created, and each venture holds shares in that new entity. Then a joint operation, that is an arrangement where parties to the arrangement have rights to the assets and obligations for the liabilities of the joint arrangement. Now, how do we classify joint arrangement. So the classification depends upon the assessments of the rights and obligations of the parties, and it considers the joint arrangement's structure, legal form, contractual terms, as well as other facts and circumstances. When you look at the structure, we need to assess and see if the joint arrangement is structured through a separate vehicle. So if the joint arrangement is structured through a separate vehicle, then the arrangement is likely to be that of a joint venture. Then if the joint arrangement is not structured through a separate vehicle, then the arrangement is classified as a joint operation. Remember, by a separate vehicle, here we are looking at a separate legal entity. So if there is a separate legal entity being created, then the arrangement is likely to be that of a joint venture. So you also have to look at the legal form of the arrangement, contractual terms, as well as other facts and circumstances when you're classifying the joint arrangement as a joint venture or as a joint operation. We have talked about joint control as the basic criteria. When does joint control exist? For there to be joint control, there should be what we call collective control of the arrangement. So meaning that no single party should control the arrangement, but all parties should be controlling the arrangement. Then still, for there to be joint control, there should be unanimous consent regarding the decisions about the relevant activities of the entity. Meaning that when it comes to decision making, all parties in the arrangement should involve in the decision making process, not a single party, not two parties if there are three. So all the three have to come together and make decisions and agree on these decisions for the joint arrangement. Remember, if joint control is present, then we are in a joint arrangement. Don't forget that joint control is the basic criteria, but the indicator is equal share. How do we account for joint arrangements? Remember, the accounting depends on the type of the arrangement. Is it a joint venture or it is a joint operation? When it comes to joint ventures, we account for them using the equity accounting method. Equity accounting method is covered in one of my other videos, so you can check it out. So we have to apply equity accounting method. Remember, under equity accounting method, the investment is initially recorded at cost and thereafter adjusted for the investor's share in the post-acquisition profits and other comprehensive income of the associate or joint venture in this case. When it comes to joint operations, the accounting is done by each party recording their share of the arrangement's assets and liabilities in their own statements of financial position and their share of revenues and costs in their own statements of profit or loss. So we have an example which is all about a joint operation. We are going to see how to account for joint operations in the individual financial statements of the joint operators as well as in the consolidated financial statements. So you can see Rashida has a 40% share of a joint operation. That's a natural gas station. The following information relates to the joint arrangement's activities. So we have a natural gas station that costs shillings 15 million to construct and was completed on 1st January 2015. Its useful life is 10 years. So that is a natural gas station. Property, plant and equipment cost 15 million, useful life 10 years. In that scenario, you have to apply IAS 16, property, plant and equipment. Don't forget to depreciate the gas station over a period of 10 years, meaning that since it's a joint operation, each joint operator is going to account for their share in the natural gas station costs. So Rashida is going to account for 40% of 15 million. Then that 40% of 10 million is going to be depreciated over 10 years. In the year, gas with a direct cost of shillings 22 million was sold for shillings 30 million. Additionally, the joint arrangement incurred operating cost of shillings 1.5 million during the year. Now for that, Rashida should only account for 40% of the direct costs, 40% of the revenue from the joint operation, that is 40% of 30 million, as well as 40% of the operating costs, 1.5 million. So being a joint operation, Rashida is going to only account for his share, and that is 40% in the revenues and costs of the operation. Assets, liabilities, revenue and costs are all apportioned on the basis of shareholding. Rashida has only contributed and accounted for its share of the construction cost, paying shillings 6 million. The revenue and costs are receivable and payable by the other joint operators who settle amounts outstanding with Rashida after their end, 31st December 2015. Remember, the natural gas station cost 15 million, so 40% of 10 million, that is the 6 million, which Rashida has already accounted for. Show how Rashida would account for the above in its consolidated financial statements for the end of 31st December 2015. Don't forget, we are applying IFRS 11. Rashida has entered into a joint operation. Therefore, Rashida is only required to account for their rights to the assets and obligations of the liabilities of the joint operation. That is 40% because they have a share of 40%. So you can see we have an extract of the statement of profit or loss for the end of 31st December 2015. So you see we have the results of the joint operation, but we also have what will appear in the individual financial statements of Rashida, that is their 40% share. So revenue for the joint operation is 30 million, but in Rashida's financial statement, that is the statement of profit or loss, there is that 40% of the costs as well as revenues. You can see when it comes to costs, direct costs, Rashida recognizes 8.8, but for the joint operation as a whole, the amount is 22 million. So you just need to get 40% of the 22 million to come up with 8.8. Operating costs for the joint operation, that is 1.5 million. Rashida only records 40% of 1.5, and that is 600,000. Depreciation, 15 million, that is the cost of the natural gas station, which is to be depreciated over a period of 10 years. So the depreciation for the joint operation is 1.5, but remember, Rashida should account for only 40% of the depreciation, that is 600,000. Then profits for Rashida in its individual financial statements, that will be 2 million. So Rashida is only going to account for 40% share in the revenues as well as cost of the joint operation. In the statement of financial position as at 31st December 2015, you will see that Rashida is still going to only account for its share, that is 40% of the joint operation's assets as well as liabilities. So property, plant and equipment, 6 million, that is Rashida's share. The depreciation for that share is 600,000, giving you a carrying amount of 5.4. Current assets, that is 12 million. Remember, revenues, they are telling us that they are receivable. So the share of the revenue is 12 million, and that 12 million is receivable. They have not yet received the cash. That's why we are showing it under the current assets. When it comes to the costs, we have the operating costs as well as the direct costs, that all those costs are payable. So meaning that you just need to get Rashida's share in those costs. You present them as payables in the statement of financial position. So that is the 8.8 as well as the 600,000, giving you 9.4. So we have applied IFRS 11, accounting for joint operations, where the joint operators have to only account for their shares in the joint operations, assets, liabilities, revenues, and costs. Spread the word. If you have benefited from our materials, please spread the word so that more students can benefit from them. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, that is Tutor Keymaster, for tutor support. We have prepared CPA study materials and revision kits which are enriched with the past paper questions and answers that are available for practice and exam preparations. So to stay updated about the latest study materials, like my Facebook page, that is Kaplan Education Center. Don't forget that we have CPA classes, we have the evening sessions as well as the weekend program. So you can call on those contacts for more about the classes and about the CPA study materials as well as revision kits. Thank you for watching.